We are back here in the final segment of our platform program today as we continue our conversation with Delano Munroe and Bianca Naigat as we talk about the Youth Empowerment Program. And this organization has been around for 5 years and has been empowering a whole lot of young people. And they are just creating outstanding citizens, eh?
Oh, most definitely. You know, that's one of the core missions of our program, to make sure that we create those outstanding Bahamian citizens that can contribute positively to the Bahamas at the end of the day. You know, our country right now is plagued with a whole lot of issues, you know, particularly as it relates to our young people. So we're doing our part, you know, and we just would like to invite corporate Bahamas and, you know, every citizen, you know, just is the time for talking is finished. You know, we can't talk any longer. You know, I tell people often, you know, I watch them go up on stages and write their nice portfolio and so forth, but if you're writing it and you're talking it but you're not doing it, you're doing a grave injustice to our young people as well. So let's stop the talking. Let's actually put action where our words are. You know, let's get out, whether it's a volunteer with the Youth Empowerment Program, whether it's to make a financial contribution to one of the activities that you feel as though you can afford, or whether it's just, you know, coming in and saying, you know, let me sit in on a session and see if I can maybe assist with teaching the session. You know, we'll greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. You know, despite your best efforts, you might be fighting some negative influences coming into our country. We are living in a particular era, a particular epoch. And the problems with youth is, that problem is not only in the Bahamas, but this is a phenomenon throughout this part of the world. Western societies are troubled with youth problems, and I just wonder whether or not you are hard-pressed to deal with some of these negative influences that are coming to bear on our society.
You know, we are doing our best to be prepared to deal with it. You know, one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, our curriculum is so diverse that we can change up our curriculum and it's not etched in stone. So when we realize a developing trend, we can quickly jump in, and the year before when we set our calendar, we can be like, you know what, we need to address this issue, we need to put this to rest. So, for example, this year on the calendar, we're dealing with Bahamian culture and identity for who you are as an individual, identifying as what is Bahamian. You know, far too often, you know, our young people and the generation that would have gone before this grouping, you know, they would have identified with Jamaica and the Rastafarian and the reggae and so forth, and they felt as though that was Bahamian. You know, they go into the United States and they want to talk like the Jamaicans. Not to say anything wrong with the Jamaicans, but they've lost their identity. They've lost who they are as Bahamians, and what we try to do as best as we can is make sure that they, one, appreciate being Bahamian, two, that they can contribute positively to the Bahamas when they start to make it in society, and understand that this is their country, this is Bahamian culture, this is what you are to identify with, the Junkanoo, the soca, and so forth.
And then you have to develop, or they have to develop, a sense of self.
Yes, sir.
There are issues that we have because a whole lot of people do not have self-respect,
yes, sir.
Do not have a sense of self. You cannot respect other people unless
you respect yourself.
Yes.
Yes, and you know, I'll go a step further. You have to teach them to love themselves, because you can't love anybody until you learn how to love yourself. So these are fundamental traits that definitely, being a part of the program, we sure to teach, instruct, and manage into our young people's lives. Yes,
you know, when I went to primary school, you know, we assembled 3 times a week, and your nails were inspected, your shoes were inspected, your hair was inspected, that kind of thing.
Or you couldn't get in the classroom.
Or you, exactly.
Yes. I don't know if they do it anymore in schools. You know, I visit the schools on a daily basis, and sometimes some of the things I see, I'd be like, wow, you're actually allowed to do that? You're actually allowed to wear that? So the value in terms of from a whole lot of different aspect and avenue has to be, I guess, re-examined, and we have to look at it and try to bring it up to where it needs to be, because we can be doing all we can at our level at the Youth Empowerment Program. You can be doing all you can as a corporate citizen in the community, but if there's a breakdown between the school or the church or the community or the home, we have a fundamental problem.
And that is what we really have. We have dysfunctional homes.
Yes.
You know, some schools too.
Yes.
And so as a result, we have young people who are dysfunctional, eh?
Yes, sir.
It's interesting that you have taken this on. How long have you been doing this? 5 years?
Yes, well, even prior to this, I worked with another youth program for 12 years. But what I realized is that we were working with what we call the high flyers in society. So those students who were pretty much already set, they were well on their way to college and so forth. And then I looked at it and I said, you know what? We're forgetting a very important grouping of society. So let me just flip the script and work with a different aspect, the ones that are causing us the most problems in society. And that's, again, marginalized and unattached young people who most people don't look at.
And marginalized young people, they come from various areas of our society. You don't have to be poor to be marginalized.
No, you don't. You can be disadvantaged based on your social or economic situation. So it comes from a vast variety of different things that can be considered marginalized.
Yeah. And the curriculum, well, I say curriculum, you don't have a curriculum as such, do you? You have a program of work for these young people, and how often do you get together?
Well, it is a curriculum.
Okay.
It's a 30-week curriculum. It runs parallel to the high school calendar. So from September to May, we're actively involved. Now, the unique thing about it is that we only meet once per week for 2 hours. And the kids, they dedicate their 2 hours. Sometimes they're there before the adult volunteers get there.
This is normally on Saturdays?
No, they're through the week. So they'll be on a weekday through the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
And, you know, the kids are excited. You know, we've had kids who have asked us, hey, why can't we do YEP every day as opposed to going to school? And I'm trying to figure out, is it because you learn more on YEP, or you just that excited based on the support system that you have behind you at YEP? So there's a whole lot of dynamics we go into. If you get any child that is a part of the Youth Empowerment Program, they'll sing the praises of the program, what it's done for them, how it has changed them, stuff that they learn in our program, they won't necessarily learn in school. And I always tell people often that you cannot, or the school cannot teach you everything. There's some things that you have to learn through life, growing up. Your parents love to teach you, or it's up to organizations like YEP, Boys Brigade, Scouts, Kiwanis, Key Club, the Gentlemen's Club, JA, that will have to teach you them as you go through life.
Bianca, how do you go about choosing organizations that you support? Because, you know, your father has supported a whole lot of youth groups and sporting groups. And do you really have a criteria by which you...
Well, my father would love to help everybody if he could, but it's impossible, you know. So really, I think that he has been going for youth groups and sports, mainly. And the reason why is the same reason what he's saying, like just to catch the kids early, give them the goal, show them, you know, what they could get if they work hard. And then the sports, my dad was always into sports, and he's really thinks it's good to keep people active and focused, and teaches you a lot through life, you know. So that's what he really, how he chooses his things to be involved in.
He's very high on education as well, education and sports. Eh?
Yes.
And that is pretty much the Youth Employment Program. High on education, high on discipline.
Yes, sir.
But now, you know, it's going into, and just like with the program, it's going into health. Everything's going into health. Yeah. Actually, all these things that we've been talking about, they're all kind of going together, right? Everybody's on the same thing about staying in shape, keeping your body in shape, eating healthy, and then staying active, being into positive things, helping each other out, speaking with love, you know. That's really what the message is, and it could get overwhelming, but it's just nice to try to help one person at a time, and then it does end up working out for everybody.
So you are really helping young people, but at the same time they are having fun.
Yes, sir, and they're having it in a controlled, safe environment. Yeah, because, you know, young people are going to be young people. You know, there's only so much you can do with them. You know, people will be like, oh, it's a lost generation and so forth, but it's when forces like Peter Nygaard and other corporate sponsors, yourself, Jones Communication, those volunteers come together, we create an atmosphere whereby they can move, grow, and learn in fun.
Yes, and that is extremely important. Tell us about the importance of parents in your program now.
You know, one of the things that we foster, and it's a very strong thing that we are very strong on, is our parents' involvement. Twice out of the program here, out of the 30 weeks, we have what we call a parents' open house, where our parents have to come in, they have to sit in on a meeting, understand what is going on, they get a part of the training curriculum, they get to be familiar with the officers of the district, the volunteers of the district, so they understand the program. They have a direct contact with the YP office, so anything that they need to understand or they don't understand or they want to get clarity on, they can easily pick up the phone and they can give one of us a call. All of our centers, you know, we are at the age of technology where everybody is WhatsApping and Snapchat and Facebook and so forth. All of our centers have an active parents WhatsApp group. So any information that parents need to know or we need to get to those parents, it's placed in the WhatsApp group. We encourage the parents to participate in activities like tomorrow. You should have a very large amount of parents out on the Fun Run Walk because we figure that this is one of those family events that can encourage and foster good family environment and a good family structure. So we have systems in place to definitely, and we are very proud of what we are.
You know, technology being what it is, you know, we had a cameraman here who had a cell phone, and young people are just enthralled with these cell phones.
Yes.
They take them everywhere they go,
Yes.
and you have them having cell phones going off during your sessions as well.
Well, you know, the funny thing about it, Mr. Jones, is that, like, for example, Sunday we had a church service, and I realized that all the kids had their cell phones in their hand, and I'm like, why are all these kids with their cell phones in their hand while the service is going on? Not realizing that all of them are on looking at the scripture lesson that the pastor was talking about, and they can look at it and view it from their phone. We actually encourage the use of the cell phones in our center because the cell phones, if they use it properly, it can be used as a good teaching module or an aid where they can do research, they can follow a lesson plan, they can move along with their cell phone use and doing searches and so forth.
I had a program the other day dealing with social media and the good and bad of social media on young people in the society. I know we don't have time to develop all of that, but social media can be good and bad for young people, eh?
Most definitely. But in our case, it's used for the good.
Very good. Yes. Well, what we're going to do now is show a clip of activities of the Youth Empowerment Program at Nygaard Key.
Yes.
And this is going to be duplicated or replicated again this weekend, eh?
And the next weekend.
And next weekend as well. So, Bianca, you have your work cut out for you for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, it's fun stuff.
You love working with young people as well.
I do. Even my daughter Sailor and my son Maddox, they're like, yes, the Youth Empowerment Program's coming tomorrow. We're coming, you know. And my son's going to be a ball boy, and Sailor's the DJ and server, and they can't wait.
Very good, very good. Well, Mr. Munroe, thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we always enjoy speaking with you because you're doing a wonderful work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bianca.
Thanks.
We now watch this clip from the Youth Empowerment Program, and after that we bring our program to an end. Thank you so very much for watching us today.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.
It's a great
pleasure for us to be down here at Peter Nygaard's residence. The Youth Empowerment Program, is always wanted to come down here and visit with the students. These students that you see here today are some of our top students in the program. These students would have excelled in their various districts in terms of either being nominated for Student of the Year, Officer of the Year, Athlete of the Year, or Most Improved Student. So they really outshine some 1,200 students in the program this year, and I think it sets the benchmark in particular for those students that are watching them to say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. And if they can go down to Peter Nygaard's residence and spend the day and play volleyball and go into the water and ride the kayaks and have a wonderful time, it's something that can inspire them in terms of for them to do much better and inspire each other as students. And I think one of the key things I always tell people is the chief person to inspire young people is young people themselves.
I always like the fact of my dad's story, that he's a rags to riches story, and that this is a great example for people, anybody, to realize that you can always accomplish your goals, and it just, you work hard, you make a plan, you do your goal, you work at it, and you can really build anything. My dad really had this dream of having a tree house his whole life, and then he actually built it, and it took 20 years, little by little, step by step, but he was hands-on building it. And it's wonderful to have that as a prime example, because we could say that something will happen to you, that if you work hard and you stay positive and you stay focused, that something will happen to you, but then you can actually show it, and have a testimony to that. These are my favorite events always at Nygaard Key. I love the children, because children are so open with how they feel, and you can see the excitement in their face when they're here, and they're so appreciative of everything, so it's our pleasure to have the Youth Empowerment Program here, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of the team, and I'm glad that I can contribute due to my father's efforts in building this whole place, and then I get the luxury of being able to entertain everybody here, so it's really nice for me.
My name is Cardia Cox, and I am the treasurer of the Youth Empowerment Program, and today we're here at Nygaard Ski for our Nominees Retreat 2016. This is my first year in the program, and so far I've accomplished a lot, and I've achieved many of the things that I wanted to do.
All of us here are nominees for either Student of the Year, Athlete of the Year, you name it, the Youth Empowerment Program. We have students here from the 9th grade up to the 12th grade, and we're just having a really good time.
Nygaard Key, this place is so beautiful. I enjoy coming here all the time, and it really shows our culture and our island.
I was elected for Most Athletic Student of the Year as a basketball player. They try to help push us in the right direction as youths of our country.
Today, so far, we've just been enjoying our time, first at Dolphin Encounters and now at Nygaard Key for the nominee sessions. And today has been a really great day, getting the chance to interact with the other nominees, and it's just been a wonderful experience so far.